Herkese merhabalar, iyi akşamlar dileriz. Ben İmran Mehmet, British Education Bureau, BEB BEB'den operasyon müdürü olarak bugün sizlerleyim. University of Southampton webinar haftamıza hoş geldiniz. Bugün University of Southampton İşletme Fakültesi akademisyeni Dr. Nicholas Dacre ile birlikte e, bir bilgilendirme sunumu gerçekleştiriyor olacağız. University of Southampton dünyanın en iyi 80, işletme alanında da dünyanın en iyi 70 üniversitesinden bir tanesi. Dolayısıyla e, birçok Türkiye'den de birçok öğrencinin tercih ettiği bir üniversite. Konu başlığına geçmeden önce ben sözü akademisyenimize bırakmadan önce çok kısa bizler üniversitenin resmi temsilcisi olarak öğrencilerimize nasıl destek oluyoruz ondan bahsetmek isterim. Bir sonraki sayfaya geçiyorum. University of Southampton'ın Türkiye'deki resmi temsilciliğini yapan kurum konumundayız. BEB olarak, British Education Bureau olarak. Bizler temsil ettiğimiz üniversitenin Türkiye'deki tanıtımlarını ve bu tür organizasyonlarını gerçekleştirmekten sorumlu kurumuz aslında. Ve 2002 yılından bu yana, 2002 yılında Oxford'da kurulduk. Son 22 yıldır İstanbul, Ankara ve İzmir'de aynı zamanda tabii online olarak bu tarz etkinlikler yapmaya devam ediyoruz. Bununla birlikte öğrencilerimize Birleşik Krallık ve İrlanda eğitim sistemi üzerine danışmanlık desteği sağlamaya devam etmekteyiz. Türk ve İngiliz kuruculara sahip bir yapımız bulunuyor. Uluslararası bir yapıya sahibiz. Tüm danışmanlık kadromuz İngiltere ve İrlanda eğitim sistemine hakim. Bu alanlarda sürekli olarak eğitimler almaya devam edilen bir yapıdan oluşmakta. Birleşik Krallık ve İrlanda özelinde baktığımız zaman bu ülkelerde toplam 150 civarında üniversite bulunmakta. Bizler de bu üniversitelerin 90'ının Türkiye'deki resmi temsilcisiyiz 22 yıldır. Ve dolayısıyla öğrencilerimize e, bu süreçlerde aslında okul araştırması, başvuru işlemleri, konaklama, vize, üniversitelerde iletişim gibi tüm adımlarda öğrencilerimize danışmanlık sağlamaya devam etmekteyiz. University of Southampton webinar haftamız devam ediyor. Yarın ve Cuma günü de farklı bölümlerde akademisyenlerle bu tarz etkinliklerimiz devam edecek. Benzer faaliyetlerimizi yine internet sitemiz, Instagram sayfamız ve Facebook üzerinden de takipte kalmanızı tavsiye ediyoruz. Yine Birleşik Krallık, İrlanda ile ilgili sormak istediğiniz süreçlerle ilgili merak ettiğiniz konular olduğu takdirde bizlere İstanbul, Ankara, İzmir ve Lefkoşa ofislerimizin numaraları üzerinden ulaşabilirsiniz. Merak ettiğiniz tüm konularda yardımcı olmak isteriz. Ben şimdi sözü akademisyenimize bırakıyorum. Sunum sonrasında merak ettiğiniz hem üniversiteyle ilgili hem de webinarın konusuyla ilgili olarak tüm soruları yanıtlıyor olacağız. Chat box üzerinden ya da el kaldırma butonuyla soruları paylaşabilirsiniz. Thank you so much, Nicholas. It's yours now.
Okay, good afternoon. Would you like me to start? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I'll share my screen. Just bear with me. Okay, if you can just give me a thumbs up, let me know you've got that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for giving me the time to give you some insights into the types of topics that we are at the cutting edge of in terms of research and teaching and learning here at the University of Southampton. So it's a great privilege and a great honor to engage with yourselves and to give you some early insights. Let me start off by introducing you to one of the specific departments in the University of Southampton Business School. I know that my colleague will give a broader kind of perspective on the University of Southampton Business School as a whole, but the department I'm currently based in is DAR, or stands for the Department of Decision, Analytics and Risk. And it's a very vibrant, dynamic and interdisciplinary department. In fact, I don't mind sharing with you that it is the largest department in the business school as a whole. We have got a plethora of academic colleagues who I'll introduce in a second, but also we benefit from having a very close relationship with research institutes and research informed teaching, and obviously our pedagogical or teaching outlook. So for example, we have 5 research centers within the Department of Decision, Analytics and Risks. The most famous one is CORMSIS, and that's a cross-disciplinary research with the School of Maths and the business school itself, but it's a Centre for Operational Research, Management Science and Information Systems. Very well established, lots of activities, and we also offer some sort of placements for some of our students around that. This the one that I have to mention, since I'm the director of the Advanced Project Management Research Centre, APRM, and I'd like to share with you also a big achievement in terms of that particular research centre, is that we recently achieved the accolade of having over 1,000 community members as part of that research centre. So we're very proud of that. We also have specifics in terms of the Centre for Risk Research, Supply Chain Excellence Centre, which is led by my colleague Sarush Sagiri, and that's relatively nascent. And we also have the well-established Centre for Healthcare Analytics. What I would like to do is just to kind of create a little bit of a rapport between ourselves so that you know who I am, and how I am representative of my colleagues as well. So as I mentioned, our colleague Imran introduced me, but my name is Nicholas Dacre. I'm the director of the Advanced Project Management Research Centre. I've also recently been appointed as the editor-in-chief of the Sage Business Cases Journal on Project Management series. I'm very proud of that, bringing our project management community together. Should you wish to join us as well on the MSc Project Management pathway, I'm the convener for that. So I understand that some of you are doing your doctorates in the crowd today, and so congratulations on that. And I know it's a hard slog, as we say, but it is ultimately worth it in terms of bringing theory back into the cutting edge of research. I, like yourselves, did my PhD at the University of Warwick, and I was fortunate enough to work at the Science Policy Research Unit at the University of Sussex, and I've been here at the University of Southampton for about 4 or 5 years now. Thoroughly enjoyed my time. Southampton is an amazing city, very vibrant, very diverse. My wife and our 2 children absolutely love living directly here. In terms of some research outputs, some of the things that a common theme that I think you will resonate to, which we will discuss today, is this idea around artificial intelligence, this idea around machine learning, this idea around systems thinking, this idea around digital transformation, all of those different types of elements, which are really kind of pushing the cusp of where research is taking us, but also, very, very importantly, where future careers and professions are going to lie. And myself and the rest of my colleagues in DAR, we see this as one of our kind of priorities, to ensure that we build the knowledge and the skills almost for the jobs that don't yet exist or are just starting, the next generation of professionals in industry. And as part of that, we offer a number of undergraduates and master's programs as part of DAR. So we have the MSc Project Management, which I already mentioned. We have an MSc in Business Analytics and Finance and Management Science. We also have the Digital Strategy and Information Systems one, Logistics and Supply Chain Analytics, and Risk in Finance. And most of our programs have some sort of recognition or accreditation, which demonstrates obviously the close kind of value that we have with industry as well around the ideas of bringing research and practice together. I will say this before we start with our taster session, though, that to some degree, we are so well interconnected in DAR that if you do pick up the project management pathway, or you do pick up the digital strategy and information systems pathway, a lot of our modules are interrelated anyway. So you get exposed to lots of different options as you go through your program with us. So that's something I'm very excited about. We are here specifically to talk about this concept of strategic leadership for dynamic projects. What we are looking at is the idea of integrating AI. And in fact, it's repeated twice there, so there's a spelling mistake that I've just spotted, and that's great. And systems thinking as well. So we're looking at this idea of really the triumvirate of three elements. What is it that we already know about projects? Why are projects challenging? And I'll discuss those in a minute with you. And then the second one is, will AI solve all of our problems? I'll give you some clues towards the end. And should we adopt other extant methodologies around systems thinking, those types of things? But that's where we're going to start off. The way I want to illustrate this, so I'm very much a believer of the idea of contemporary project management or modern approaches to what we need to be thinking about as strategic leaders, strategic thinkers, strategic innovators going forward. What is our USP? What is our unique selling point in terms what can we bring to the table as an individual for team environments such as projects? And some of the things that are currently going on in the world from a project-based lens are incredibly exciting. First of all, it's a very buoyant market. There is a huge demand currently. I think the PMI, some of you may be familiar with the Project Management Institute, undertook some research a couple of years ago, and they did a kind of survey, worldwide survey. And they estimated that by 2030, so not that far away really, 6 years away, there will be sufficient demand for an extra 30 million globally that is, 30 million project professionals across a range of different industries. So why am I sharing this information with you? Well, what I'm saying essentially is that it is a buoyant market, and there are a huge range of skills that good, proficient, effective, and efficient project professionals can bring to the table. Here is a perfect example of where the future lies, essentially. So you've probably heard of The Line as this kind of mega project. It was announced back on the 10th of January 2021 as this kind of conceptual idea, something that the world had never seen or never thought of. More importantly, something that the world probably never thought would be achievable. And The Line is this idea of creating this city based, as it sounds, on a single kind of point, or a single kind of surface, a single line, if you like. And it does represent one of the most ambitious projects so far in human history, which takes a lot of kind of thinking about and a lot of planning, a lot of ideation, and the right people with the right skills are needed to engage with these sort of mega projects. And the idea is that it will be finished around 2045, and it will be 170 kilometers in length. The estimated project cost is about $160 billion, although there are some kind of negotiations and discussions around that and how realistic it will be and whether the cost is likely to increase. So research demonstrates that there probably will be some sizable increases in that. Once it's finished, the capacity of the line, or the city, if you like, over 170 kilometers, will be about 9 million, and nearly 500,000 jobs created as a result of this. I think what's important for us to discuss today, though, is if we think about this project, first of all, as a mega project. So the definition of a mega project is anything over the value of $1 billion. This is costed as $160 billion. But what's interesting for us in terms of AI, machine learning, systems thinking, is on average, a single mega project of $1 billion or more will have around 500,000 daily data points to deal with in terms of project monitoring, decision making, and so on and so forth. Hugely complex point. I also wanted to bring this in because I thought, well, you know, we're obviously doing a presentation to Turkey, and I thought this was important to bring it into line around Istanbul Airport and how successful this particular project endeavor has been and is increasingly growing. So around Istanbul Airport is Europe's large, as you probably know if you've obviously flown there, is Europe's largest and most busiest airport. And it's increasingly looking at ways how we can improve, how we can grow, how we can increase capacity, so on and so forth. So currently there's an improvement project that's underway at Istanbul Airport. And back in 2022, it served a huge 64.3 million passengers through that airport. The project that the next phase of the Istanbul Airport is focusing on is increase that capacity to 200 million passengers per year. And that hopefully will be complete by 2028 at a cost of around $13.5 billion. Again, another demonstration of a major or a mega project. So where do we sit here? The problem we have is all of these things sound amazing. Lots of money, government backed, private industry, private sector. It's the future, it's where we're going. But the question is, do we have the right tools? Do we have the right critical thinking? Do we have the right experience and expertise and knowledge to bring these projects to life? Huge investment, huge expectations. And what research shows us is that unfortunately, historically speaking, the vast majority of projects tend to underdeliver over time, over budget, and scope creep tends to come in. What can we do about this particular challenge? It's not sustainable in the long term when we want to make our projects more sustainable. What are the tools? What are the techniques? What is the knowledge that we can use to try and circumvent some of these issues, right? I mean, a lot of money being invested, a lot of expectation, stakeholder engagement is incredibly important. And so we need to deliver on our promises. Okay. The problem we have also is that project failure accentuates even further when we look at mega projects. So remember, mega projects value of $1 billion or more. And according to Flyvberg's research, it can be as little as 1% of mega projects that are successful within the constraints of what we call the triple constraints or the iron triangle. So delivering projects on time, within scope, within budget, and to the quality expected. So those are huge, huge problems. So what myself and some colleagues of ours, we did some research around this, and there is a lot of kind of obviously investment in AI technologies, digital technologies, and the idea of how do we manage those? How do we engage with those particular types of technologies? And specifically in the project management sector, some industries, such as healthcare, for example, are at the forefront of this cutting edge technology, have been very, very good. Supply chain, pretty good as well. Project management, we've got some catching up to do around this area. So I've got 5 minutes left for my presentation, and then I'll hand over to my colleague. But let me go through some potential solutions in terms of, I've laid out the expectation. I've laid out the challenges. But now we need to think about the next generation of professionals. How do they adapt? How do they use particular tools? So there's a thing called, or a theory or an approach called systems thinking, which you may or may not be familiar with. But systems thinking is this paradigm that allows us as professionals, as project managers, to take a step back. And it allows us to look at the big picture. It allows us to take a look at the kind of macro elements of the projects, of all these interdependent elements that intertwine together. And it enables us to kind of look at the holistic value of what the project is, rather than trying to focus on the minutiae where we can get bogged down a little bit. And when I talk about minutiae, I'm talking about things like traditional tools like a work breakdown structure, a RACI, a Gantt chart, a logical framework analysis, all of these different types of things. But system thinking allows us to take a little bit of a step back, take a helicopter view of the project and what we hope it will achieve. And I think it's particularly, well, research demonstrates to us that it's particularly useful in working in concert with the idea of AI. Because what we've seen, and I wonder if you've experienced something similar as a student, as a professional, as somebody who's starting their career, for example, the use of AI is okay to a point, but it's limiting. It's very good at generating text at the minute. It's very good at pattern matching, for example. It's very good at identifying specific things, but it is limiting to a point. So we do need kind of a proxy, if you like, to enable us to get the best amount of value out of these different types of technologies. So we've got kind of 4 ideas around that in terms of how this relates directly to project management. And remember, these sort of topics are the ones that we are investigating here at the University of Southampton because we do research-informed teaching, because we engage directly with sectors and industry and colleagues and partners in the field, which enables us to prepare you for those jobs that will be required in the future, but don't necessarily exist quite yet. So we're building that momentum, which is fantastic. Anyway, so data analysis and pattern recognition, as I mentioned, in some areas, it's very, very good at doing that, using historical data and kind of creating future predictions. To some degree, it enhances project control as well. It enables you to kind of question data in real time, if you like. And there's this idea of the VUCA management as well. Some of you may be familiar with this acronym that we live in a increasingly VUCA world where volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity all play a part in organizations and their plans and their future prospects and so on and so forth. But what we're looking for is advanced integration. So a sort of hybrid AI system that combines multiple approaches to the technology and our thinking around this. So this is all good in terms of hypotheticals, let's say. But what we want is actual kind of examples or case studies where this has worked in practice, because it's good for going from theory, knowing these things, but how do we apply this in practice? So one of the multinational construction organizations, GLEADS, which strangely enough, the Advanced Project Management Research Center, our students, and the business school as a whole works incredibly closely with. They're headquartered in Bournemouth, and so we work very closely with those organizations. They demonstrated, they applied the ideas of systems thinking, they applied the idea of artificial intelligence into their processes, into project planning, project control, project completion, benefit realization, all of these different elements. And they saw an absolute upsurge in their kind of success rates. And James Garner, who works at GLEADS, again, we work very closely with James, stated, if you understand how AI works in this particular context of projects and project management, you can use it as your superpower. And I'll finish on this particular slide here. One of the things that the BCS, so the British Computer Society, which is the Chartered Society of British Computer Scientists in the UK, have a project management arm section to them. And they recently said, look, it's unlikely that you will lose your job to AI, but it's very likely that you will lose your job to somebody who is using AI. So I think that relationship is becoming incredibly important. I've given the link here at the bottom in terms of where we published this framework, this conceptual framework in this research, but you can find it online, and I think I shared it with Imran and Rami and our colleagues. But strategic project leadership, the case for integrated systems thinking and AI, and that was published in operational research. But one of the conceptual frameworks that we came up with was this idea of, as I said, of integrating systems thinking and artificial intelligence, how to bring those two things together. What strategic recommendations can it bring to the project board in terms of data governance and quality, continuous learning, ethical considerations, strategic alignment, proactive risk management, agile and hybrid approaches, cross-functional collaborations, and training and capacity building. The desired, and I'll finish on this point, the desired outcomes of this are fourfold. So the technology plays an incredibly important part, but the approach to which we engage with that technology and embed it into project processes is also incredibly important. It's not just about machine learning is going to solve all our problems. Remember, at the beginning of the session, I asked you a question, which was, is AI going to solve everything? The answer is clearly no, it isn't. But the answer is absolutely, we need a way to understand these sort of technologies and use them and embed them in ways that make sense. And as I said, fourfold. So we're looking for enhanced resilience, improved adaptability, optimized resource allocation, and closer strategic alignment to the overall project and organization itself. So thank you ever so much for obviously giving me, as I said, the opportunity to give you a taste, if you will, of the sort of topics that we as academics across the business school get very, very enthusiastic and passionate about, because it's important for us to be able to talk to our students and engage with our students and have that direct relationship with you and to have these kind of critical discussions that we can build towards the future. So thank you ever so much. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact me. My name is Nicholas Dacre, as I said earlier. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Nicholas, for the all information and the taster lecture. Rochina, would you like to add something as well?
Actually, sorry, I am Laura Costanzo. I entered this call through the link provided by Rochina. So first of all, good afternoon here from Southampton. I am Professor Laura Costanzo, and I am the head of the University of Southampton Business School. It's a great pleasure to be here this afternoon with you. Maybe there is a little bit later. And so within these 15 minutes, I will try to keep it to the time, to the schedule. It's my pleasure to provide you with an overview of the business school and what we can offer. I'm going to share my my presentation. I hope it works. So but is disabled, so the link is disabled, so I can't share. Yeah.
Can you try again?
So I'm trying to, yeah, sorry. Okay, yes, here it is. Okay. So, can you see the link? Can you see the slide?
No, not yet.
Okay, let's try this other one. Okay. Now?
Yeah, now we can.
Yes, so good afternoon, everyone. As I said, I am Laura Costanzo, so it's great to be here. We are part of course, of the University of Southampton, which is a top university in the world. It is ranked 80th in the world. It's top 14 in the UK, according to the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, top 20 in the UK, top 14 within the Russell Group. The Russell Group is the group of the top 24 research-driven universities in the UK. This is a great place. There are so many offers, so many masters, and so many students joining us. So overall, more than 9,000 postgraduate students from over 130 countries across 7 campuses. And the university obviously has got also lots of research centers and 4 national research institutes and so on. So with regard to the business school, of course, as you may imagine, and we are very proud to be ranked within top 50 in the world according to the QS for business analytics, top 100 for accounting and finance, and the top 100 also globally for marketing, with regard to the business masters rankings, but we ranked also very high in other international rankings. For example, in the Shanghai list for academic ranking of world universities, we are ranked 37th for the subject of business administration. And according to the US ranking, best global university rankings by the US News, which is the equivalent of the Times Higher Education, we are ranked 55th in the world, 14 in Europe, and 7th in the UK for business. So there is a lot of history about the business school. Lots has been developed in the last 10 years in particular, and more in the last 5 years. So also the UK ranking, the UK rankings across many subject disciplines are really improving all the time. So with regard also to our research, which is very important because the research informs our education, our curriculum. In the last national research assessment, we have entered the top quartile of UK business schools for the quality of research. In fact, we are also ranked top 12 in the UK business schools for the quality of the research environment, and top 14 in the UK of UK business schools for the impact of research. So there is an amazing academic community. You have just met Nicolas Dacre. The Professor Nicolas Dacre is one of our experts, but there are so many great colleagues in the business school, around 180 academic staff, and many academics are listed in the top 2% of the Stanford list. This is really demonstrating the great research environment, the great expertise within the business school. And this expertise is very important because it clearly informs what we deliver in terms of our education, how we engage with the industry, how we create impact on business and society. With regard to the student community, we have about 3,000 students from the UK, but also from the rest of the world. And Turkey is one of the countries that really are important to us in terms of student recruitment. In terms of location, we are located on the beautiful south coast of England, and I can reassure you that this is a very sunny place of the UK. By the way, I am Italian by background, so when I say that it's sunny, it's really sunny. So I care about we care all about the weather conditions, but here actually the weather conditions are pretty mild. There are also very good connections to London. In 1 hour and 10 minutes, students can get to London. In fact, most of our students enjoy really evenings in London during the weekends, but at the same time, they don't live in London, they live in Southampton, which is much cheaper than living in London, and at the same time, a part of a global university, which is a top 100. We are also proud to have an excellent university hospital because, of course, the university is also great in terms of reputation in medicine, excellent sport facilities, beautiful surrounding there is the beautiful New Forest, and the city of Southampton is very, very green. There is a vibrant economic region, which a rich marine and maritime industry, digital computing sector, consulting companies. So this is a really very vibrant economic region of the UK, which means it does offer job opportunities to our students, and also experience opportunities for experiential learning. We are accredited by many international bodies, really representing, signifying that what we deliver is delivered at the highest standards. So all our programs are accredited by the ESCSB, which is the most prestigious international accreditation. But we have got also an MBA program, which is accredited by AMPA. We are part of the European Foundation Management Development Global Network, and also we care about sustainability. So we are subscribed to the United Nations Principle of Responsible Management Education, which means that our curriculum has really to comply with these principles. We are the only business school in the world to have secured the Global Reporting Initiative accreditation, and I will explain this a little bit what it means later. And we have also achieved the Athena Swan Bronze Award, which means actually we care about inclusivity, diversity, and equality. We are a valued member of the Charter Association of Business Schools in the UK, and also we secured another important accreditation recently, which is the Small Business Charter Award, which means that what we produce is significant in terms of supporting the local industry, but also we enable our students to, in terms of developing entrepreneurial skills and so on. And here you see the logo of many other professional bodies accreditations, which means that our programs are recognized by a number of professional bodies, which means students sometimes they don't really need to undertake per specific professional bodies examinations. So this is something, a plus also to consider. And now I'm going to provide you with an overview of our UG programs. We've got a rich portfolio of programs representing really the expertise across the business school. Dr. Decker was talking about the Department of Decision Analytics and Risk, but there are also other 5 major departments: the Department of Strategy, Innovation, Entrepreneurship, the Department of Accounting, the Department of Banking and Finance, the Department of Digital and Data-Driven Marketing, the Department of HRM, and OB. And therefore, because of the great expertise that is available within the business school, we are able to offer a rich, high quality portfolio of undergraduate programs. So here you can see all the programs spanning across a number of very important subject disciplines, and these programs are available also with an additional year, a 4th year as a placement year or a study abroad year. We are also launching a new set of programs for 2025 enrollment, recognizing more specialism required by certain students and employers. So, for example, the BSc in Business Management and Accounting, the BSc in Business Management and Human Resources Management, and the BSc in Accounting and Taxation. As I was talking earlier, we have some of these programs comes also with the benefit of professional qualifications, which means that we are able to differentiate our qualifications, and therefore the quality of our students and our graduates from the crowd. Our graduates can see, they are exposed, they are provided with a greater career progression, and also with the greater flexibility in terms of career moves and so on. Very important is the placement year. This is optional. Not all our students choose it, but a substantial number of our students choose this placement year. And it's a year that is rewarded in the sense that the students get paid, and we have got an embedded team that enables really to support the placement year. And so we prepare really the students with relevant academic knowledge, but also applied to the real world, which means that they also develop all those practical knowledge and skills that are required by the employer. So our students really, after graduating, get jobs in many of these, in many international companies, and these are some of the international companies with whom our students get jobs. I would like now to talk a little bit about the postgraduate programs. We've got a rich portfolio of Master of Science programs, in total 27 programs, and as you can see, they span across a number of subject disciplines, accounting, finance, and you can see the variety. You know, the flagship programs are highlighted in bold, but then there are also more specialized programs within the same subject discipline. So, for example, in management, the MSc in management, we are also launching the MSc in management and artificial intelligence. We have got international management programs and also programs focused on marketing. And again, also our expertise in analytics and digital is reflected in these programs, as you can see, MSc in digital marketing, MSc in marketing analytics, and so on. Then we've got more general business management programs like digital business, business strategy, innovation management, and more business analytics and management focused programs like the the MSc in business analytics and management science. Our MBA is very strong, is globally ranked between 141 and 150. It's ranked 47th in Europe according to the QS, 17th in the UK according to the QS. It comes with different options. It's a 12-month program. It requires at least 3 years of work experience. The students are selected. They go through a proper selection process. There is not just an application, but also an interview. And we've got a number of specialist pathways that students can choose from, like entrepreneurship, maritime, data analytics, fintech, and project management, really reflecting the specialism existing within the business school. It's also really complemented by a fantastic leadership development program, which is delivered by experts in the industry. And then obviously the uniqueness, the selling points of these program is represented by the fact that it's complemented by 2 international fields studies, 2 international trips. So students really get engaged with the real world practice in live consultancy projects through connections with the industry. So we've got also a fantastic portfolio in terms of PhD, a Doctor of Business Administration programs. So in total, we have got about 150 PhD students that come from different parts of the world across many subject disciplines, such as entrepreneurship, banking, accounting, marketing, HRM, and OB. The students also get an annual research training support grant, and they are rewarded if they publish papers from their PhD through additional funding, so that then actually they can use that funding to deepen their research. And The research environment is fantastic. So actually they share the space with the academics. So they are included within really the learning environment that we provide. And actually they are part of our community in the new building 175, which is the most prestigious building in the University of Southampton. I would like to talk a little bit about the student learning experience, because clearly our programs, as I said, they are recognized and they are accredited by very important accreditation bodies, so internationally recognized, meeting the highest international standards. However, it's not just the curriculum that is academically strong, because it's supported by strong researchers and therefore strong knowledge, but it's also how we deliver that curriculum. It's also about the engagement with the industry and the opportunities that we provide, because we aim to prepare and develop the global citizens, the global leaders for the future. And so, you know, students who enroll on our programs have to be ready really to make an impact in business and society and to become employable in this respect, which means in order to enable all this, we provide students with many extracurriculum learning opportunities. So for example, and I will talk a little bit more about this. So for example, a few years ago, a couple of years ago, we engaged a team of our students and studying for accounting, but also finance, with the global Bloomberg challenge. So they were doing live trading simulations supported by our academics, expert in finance, and and so they did this competition globally on a period of I believe of 8 weeks, and then they competed against a number of teams, nearly 1,000 of teams across 35 countries, and then they became really the world champion, so the winner of that competition. So we are very proud of this achievement, because it means that really we enable students to develop practical skills that tangibly are really relevant, and they are recognized. The global reporting initiative, for example, we are the only business school in the world to have secured this accreditation, which means that actually we integrate this training into our sustainability reporting module in our curriculum, and our students gain the GRI training certificates, which means that they are able actually to write sustainability reports for companies, and they are supported by our academics, and this practice also becomes a part of their assessed work. So the assessment is really based on real projects to solve and address important issues, social, environmental, or more general business issues. Also, students participate, for example, in international collaborative learning, like, for example, for these modules, for this module about innovation simulation, and therefore they are involved in teams, and they participate to a live simulation with in competition with, for example, students from Toulouse Business School in France. And during this simulation, teams of 7 work together in companies to develop and launch a new product in an emerging market with multiple customer segments. So this initiative, for example, provides an experience to our students and really prepare them for future career in an international setting, and really enabling them to learn from, from each other, and totally immersed in a kind of very diverse context. Also, our thesis, for example, comes with many options. Some students opt for the traditional type of thesis. Some students opt for the industry practice-based projects, which means that their thesis focus on a specific problem, a real problem given by a company, and therefore students are supported by dedicated supervisors so that they can really apply their knowledge to resolve the business issue. And this is across a number of subject disciplines, including marketing, business analytics, supply chain optimization, logistics, and so on. Also, we are very privileged because within the business school, we have got a dedicated team, which is called CPAR, which stands for Career, Employability, Placement, Alumni Relations. And this team of colleagues really support the journey of our students from day one, when they really enroll on our course, really to prepare them for the placement year or for other industry placements, which might be also temporary. And they really enable them to really to be ready for the world, for the world of practice. We also have got a fantastic talent development program. This is an extracurricular program. It's free of charge. And really, it provides some interactive workshops with the leaders, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and therefore lots of networking opportunities. The students have got a number of tasks to fulfill, and then at the end they receive really a certificate for the award and also prizes depending on their performance. And they can put this certificate also on their CV. Also, we really encourage students to participate with to the Global University Business Challenge, and our team of students that is very selective, always achieve the highest ranking. So we were the winners in 2023 and we were finalists in 2024. This is a Global University Business Challenge competition, and it's very important because through these experiences, for example, through this one, students are able to develop their core skills, leadership competencies. We try really to test their ability to initiate new ideas, thinking. So we stimulate their creativity, their intellect, but also their enthusiasm, and we try really to support, to enable them to develop confidence and communication skills, and so on. So how do we support our students? The environment is very supportive, it's very rich. Our academics are very approachable. We've got a very diverse community of academics, you know, from the UK, British, but also from other parts of the world. And our academics have got the PhDs from, for example, Oxford, Cambridge, North America, and other prestigious universities. So students are allocated a personal academic tutor from day one, and this personal academic tutor is really follows really the trajectory, the learning trajectory journey of our students, and the support they advise them. We have got also a lot of on-campus services around, for example, well-being, language support, academic writing, and so on. So there is lots really that we can offer. Fantastic learning space here on my right, on my screen, you can see the building 175, the prestigious building, and where lots of interactions happen between the academics, the students, but also people from the industry. So providing lots of networking opportunities, really a 360-degree learning experience. So I have finished here. So it's been a great pleasure to give you an overview on the business school, and particularly on our portfolios, because that's what you are most interested in. But I am happy to take any questions. Thank you.
So, Laura, thank you so much for your presentation as well with Nicholas. We can wait for the questions. I can announce in Turkish. Sorularınızı yazılı bir şekilde ya da el kaldırma butonuyla hem üniversite hakkında hem de işletme fakültesi olsun konu başlığıyla ilgili tüm merak ettiğiniz soruları paylaşabilirsiniz. Yanıtlayabiliriz akademisyenlerimizle birlikte.
Can I just say thank you very much for hosting the session, and thank you to Nicholas and Laura for the presentations. We will be sharing this with all the registrants, all the students who've registered. And if they have any further information or they need any further clarification, please ask them to contact us directly. We can leave our emails in the chat box, but then you have our emails as well. So please direct any students towards us. And obviously this is one of many webinars to come. So we will be in touch soon and make sure that we get the information across to all our students in Turkey.
Thank you, Rami. I have one individual question from one of our participants. Is it possible to transfer through the different, like the courses, between different courses in the business school? Yeah, that's the question, actually.
Yes, thank you. I think the question is for me here. Yes, with regard to the actually to the undergraduate programs, because they come with the 3 years. So the first two, so basically the first year is pretty common across all the programs. Therefore, that gives the possibility to students to reflect and really understand whether they have chosen, you know, the right program. They can talk to other colleagues and to fellow students on other programs. So there is a possibility. I think that is possible up to the December, the first semester, basically. So there is that flexibility. Also, as I said, our programs come either as a 3 years program or actually 4 years programs. 4 years programs when actually they also include the placement year or the study abroad year. Obviously, you know, students, when they enroll, they don't know if they want to take that option. So they want really to find out a little bit more. And therefore, there is that flexibility in terms of, you know, deciding to go for 4 years, but then they might opt, no, I would like to go for a 3 years program. So there is a lot of flexibility.
If I can also add to that, so on the master's level, you also have the opportunity to change your optional module. So you might do a master's, let's say, for example, in project management in semester 1, where you have 2 core modules as part of that, which would be project management processes, for example. And you might choose a range of different optionals, 2, 3, depending on the program. But you have the opportunity to also say, actually, this optional module that I chose on entrepreneurship isn't quite for me. I'd rather do the finance one. So there is a limited period of time that you do have that. And just to reflect on or echo what Lara's sentiment is, flexibility is the key word at the University of Southampton. We want you to do incredibly well. We want you to be the future leaders. So we offer that flexibility in order to harness your skills and support you through that journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the answers. Another one is it possible to do a master's degree in different subjects that they are studying currently studying undergraduate.
So is it possible to build a master?
Yeah, is it possible to study in different subjects for master's degree? For example, they are studying like not business degree for the undergraduate, and they would like to apply for the business school course for the postgraduate.
Yes, I think here we have got Rokina, who is our admission tutor for PGT, and our entry requirements, we have got a number of entry requirements, but I think, we don't, so for example, if somebody has studied maths, I don't see any problem in enrolling on a master in finance, in accounting, or in management, and so on. So so I think it's the curriculum actually is structured in a way, and therefore also the learning outcomes, and therefore also the expectation in terms of previous studies that actually really shapes future leaders. And when we say future leaders, we are referring to really a broad group of students coming from a different backgrounds in terms of previous studies. So it's not just for the students who have just enrolled or have got already knowledge of a business, but also for students coming from engineering, or students coming from maths or other subject disciplines, for example, in natural sciences. So, yeah.
So yes, to just add upon what you said, it is possible. There are many students from high history background, then they decided to enroll and do a master's degree in management, for example. That is one of the most flexible programs among the 27 portfolio programs we have. It is matter of checking entry requirements, but as a general point, it is possible. There are some programs that could be less flexible in terms of entry requirements, but I suggest, if you are interested, you can check online the entry requirements, or you can email us. So we can provide you some more specific details in that respect. But definitely, among 27 programs, there are certainly some programs that are worthwhile doing if you come for a different background. And we have students that have undergone through that path.
Thanks so much, Rokina. We can wait for a couple of more seconds. Rami, would you like to put your email address on the chat box?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we covered all the questions from the students. Thank you once again very much for your time, Nicholas, Laura, and Rokina, and of course, Rami. We hope to see you in Turkey face to face as well. Thanks so much.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Bye-bye.
for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Imran. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day.